Anything for Halloween? Need to go live on Facebook. So much clicking necessary. Oh, great. I should be live everywhere and perfect. You're just dressing up and eating candy? What are you dressing up as? The galaxy? That's pretty intense. Are you going to have planets rotating around you? Your face is going to be the galaxy? Does that mean you'll be having, I don't know, stars all over your face? Eyeshadow and face paint and do you even pronounce it sequins or sequins or sequins? I'm never even sure. The sparkly things as stars. Sequins? Sounds awesome. So I'm just gonna share this to a couple of groups. Let's see if I can find any teen groups. There we go. Though I think a lot of elementary school teachers like escape rooms. Did you do any escape rooms at your school? You haven't been back in a while? Are you all completely remote then, I'm guessing? Okay, well, I'll get started with that first. Okay, so welcome people who are joining me. We are going to be doing escape rooms, and I will be going through a couple of them. So first, I just want to show you an escape room that was written by Supernova, and she's here with me in my club, and she's been going through and learning a lot about coding, hopefully, so let's just play it. So, escape the coronavirus. Yes, finally, social interaction. But I need a mask. How am I supposed to buy a mask when I can't go in a store? France is under lockdown again too, so yeah, all the stores are closed basically. Oh, I know, I'll make one. Where's my sewing machine? Well, here's a sewing machine. Well, I could click on it. This is how long the cloth needs to be. Exactly how many inches is that? Anybody know? People on Facebook? Okay. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Yes! I'm so good. 6 inches. Perfect. I cut 6 inches of cloth. Click on the needle first, then the thread. The order is important. So what happens if I click in things in the wrong order? Does it do anything? Okay, I'm going to be good. I'm going to click on the needle and then the thread. Oh, I can click on everything. I don't see anything happening. Can I go back? I'm stuck! I'm stuck! Oh, hit, is this right? Oh, I have to click on this. I'm like, I was clicking here. My bad. Sorry. I don't see things I'm supposed to click on. Is this right? Oh, nice job. Okay. Good job, me. So I couldn't make the ear loops. Turns out they're really hard. Let's see. But I did make this. Ta-da! Hey, I made the mask. Will you pack my bag? Thanks. Aren't you supposed to be packing your own bag? I don't know. Put my books in a stack on that circle. So here's the stack. Well, I want to put flip-flops. Oh, I guess I can't put flip-flops in. Okay. Can I put a pencil? Pencils are... Never mind. Okay, I got it. I have to put the book. This is a book, no? Oh, I need this book. Yeah, thanks so much. Let's go to school. Never thought I'd say that. Time for school. Hey, Sophie. Hey, stay further away, will you? What? You do know how far you're supposed to stay apart, don't you? Quick, help! How many feet do I stay from others? 1 foot. Oh, guess that's wrong. 6 feet. Phew! I'm glad you know. Anyway, see you around. Ah, quick! A teacher's coming, hide! Too late. Hey, girl, why haven't you done the quiz they handed out already? Because quizzes suck, that's why. Whatever, do it now then. Fine. Ha 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 ha, quiz. Question 1, how often should you wash your mask? I don't need a wash. Okay. Retry. After you wear it. Question 2. How many feet should you stay away from others? 6 and 1/24. Alright, let's do 6 feet. Question 3. What do you do if you have a health problem and can't wear a mask? Have someone else shop. Retry. Some stores have special hours for that. Are bandanas a good replacement for a normal mask? They're stylish. Never mind. No, absolutely not. Okay, final question. Children blank and older need to wear a face mask. 12 months and older, 18 months and older, 24 months and older. 24 months. You don't think the health department cares if bandanas are stylish or not? What's interesting is I think in France they made it so it's kids who are 6 years and older have to wear a mask. So it's differing by country, which I think is kind of interesting. Listen, America. That's right. So, whatever. Let's move on. The end. Wear a mask! And you can check out Supernova by clicking on her profile and give her a follow. She writes lots of great stories and is also dressing up as the galaxy. So, yeah, awesome. I also really like your personality test one. This one's really fun. I think I'll do a simpler version and link yours in our curriculum section for, I don't know, what grades do you think would be, can code a personality test, would you say? What grades? Since you have to know how to use variables. probably 4th and up. That's pretty impressive. I don't know, I think it's more of a maybe 6th grade. 4th grade is a bit complicated. They have difficulties understanding what a variable is. Anyway, so we're doing a Halloween escape room. Today is just going to be mostly me, I guess, doing a simple escape room. We're going to do 2 puzzles, and we're going to do some strategies on how you can create more interesting puzzles that aren't just like a question answer quiz sort of setup. So things that are maybe a little bit more out of the box. And yeah, let's get started. So the first step is we made a title page, we made this page, and I want to create basically a main room. And here is going to be my, I guess, main room where I can click on different objects and navigate to different pages where my different puzzles will kind of exist. And the logic that I want is I want you to be able to choose any order of puzzles to complete, but I want you to be able to complete all of them before you can, I guess, escape or complete the mission. So let's outline kind of what we want to do. And I'll get rid of the text later, but I'm just going to add a page here, and this is basically my to-do list. So first I want to create 2 puzzles. Okay. Have the reader do the puzzles in any order. And 3, once the reader has completed both puzzles correctly, then allow them to escape. So if you were to do a regular escape room where you just go from kind of, I guess, puzzle 1 to puzzle 2 to puzzle 3, you don't really have to worry too much about this because you could just lock the navigation, meaning that they can't go to puzzle 2 until they finish puzzle 1. But sometimes that gets kind of boring, and we're going to just try a new thing. So let's try it out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create, I guess, hotspots where we can click to enter different rooms. Yep, so basically you would need to use a true-false variable and have both of them be true before the condition to, I guess, escape would happen. That's correct. So let's just add some random Halloween things on this page that are clickable. So let's add this skull because he's kind of cute. He's just gonna, I guess, float here. What else do we want? A ghost. We want a ghost. Do we want a werewolf? Some candies? A mummy? I kind of like this mummy. He's cute. So we're gonna have this mummy, and let's just get started with that. So the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to create a page, and this is going to be my mummy page. So I'm going to just copy and paste this, and this will be my mummy puzzle. So the first thing we'll do is when I click, we're going to do the navigation. So that means on page start, I want to first lock the navigation so the user cannot swipe forward or backwards. They have to click on things in order to navigate. So we're just going to lock the navigation of the previous page, lock the navigation of the next page. Okay, so you're going to help me? Okay, so let's first just grab all the blocks on the page and get them working. You can help me with the the variable coding. How about that? So let's just set everything up first. So OnClick, And this is just simple, like go to page. We're just going to navigate when I click on these items. So for younger students, you could just do go to pages and just stick with that as the way to navigate through an escape room. But in our case, we're going to try something a little bit more challenging. So, oh, I didn't set what page I'm going to. So this is page 4, and I'm going to add another page, and this is my puzzle page 5. So page 4 and page 5. Okay, so we set up our navigation. Our page 4, this is going to be the puzzle, and then the first puzzle, and then page 5 is going to be the second puzzle. So there are a couple things that you can do when you create puzzles. The easy one, of course, is to have a riddle or a question, and then you'll have an answer. You can do something a little bit more on the observation side. I call them kind of observation puzzles because it's based upon, I guess, your observation skills rather than any problem solving. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're just going to write something. It could be anything. It could be any sort of message that you want. So you can say something like once upon a time, or one spooky Halloween night there were, I don't know, strange noises throughout. Okay, so we can continue and make this a little bit longer, but the idea is we're going to have a secret code in this message. And how you can make a secret code very easily is you can do things like changing the color. So like if you want to say my code is, I don't know, spooky, you can literally just make it a different color. But this makes it a little bit too easy, right? Like if I just do this, it's like, okay, this is too easy. So what you can do is you can then have S. Do we have a P anywhere aside from this one? Or actually we won't use this one. We'll use this S. So we can make each letter. So then it's kind of garbled, and you will have to pick out all the letters and then rearrange them to create the code. So this is one really easy way to just create a code throughout your text. So it could be a text like this. It could be like making a fake message. You can even try to simulate what like a cell phone message would look like with like a, I don't know, like maybe a picture with the text, things like that. And yeah, so let's do that. So let's just make this code spooky. S-P-O-O. You had the bubble blink. What do you mean by the bubble blink? K, K, K. Oh, when someone is typing? That's awesome. I need more text for this. One sentence is a bit too limited. So give me something. One spooky night, there were strange noises throughout. What else should I put in? Throughout the haunted house next door. Okay, that's a little bit better. So I need SB. I still don't have a K, except for this K. unknown to the town. Every year there was a, I don't know what's going on. Or every Halloween, a vampire rave? Sure. There was a techno disco. Okay, let's do a techno disco. It's not very spooky anymore. Seems more like a comedy. Okay, SBOO. I have a K here. K, spooky, EY. There we go. So in this case, it's very simple because the code is literally just spelled out. Here. If you don't think it's spooky enough, then you need to help me rearrange this this paragraph. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a text field. So this is an input field that the reader can input. And enter the pass. Maybe you have to enter a password to enter the techno disco. Okay, so let's get started coding. And the first thing we want to do is we want to create a variable. So variables are our containers. They store values. And in our case, we can just call it, I don't know, code puzzle1 answer, puzzle. We'll just call it code 1. So code 1 is going to be, I guess it should be player answer. It's better. So player answer is a bit more explicit. Okay, so we have our text field, and I'm going to give you the controls so you can help me code this. So I will need an event on text input, and I will need variables, variable equals text object, and then I will need to have finally the compare text. So for those who are new, basically we are just, okay, why is the bring to front, bring to back here? So basically we are just first creating our variable. This is going to be our container that holds the value that the player or the reader puts in. And we're going to store this, so whatever we put in here is going to be stored to our variable player answer. And then we want to compare the variable player answer to whatever our actual answer is. In this case, it's spooky. And if it's exactly spooky, we want to do something. And if it isn't, we want to go somewhere else. So let's create another page. And this page will be like the end game over page. So let's find something spooky. Let's find something spooky. There we go. Something like that. And we'll say, got dragged away by the monsters. The end. Try again. So. The end. And we'll add a button to navigate back. Try again. So, let's go back here, or this one, I guess, and let's continue coding this. So, we will get go to page, and this is the last page, the end page, if you get it wrong. And if we get it right, what do? We're going to do something. So I'm going to give you remote control access, and you're going to help me code everything. Can you do that? Great. So on text input, we're going to set the variable equal to whatever they entered in. And what do we do when we get it right? When we get it right, we're going to go to page. We're going to go to page 5. Okay. Awesome. So Supernova's a pro at this and doesn't want to give me back my mouse. Okay. Great. So we have everything set up properly now. So here is where the tricky part comes in. How do we make sure that we actually complete both puzzles? That's the question. How do we make sure we complete both puzzles and we're not just skipping one of them and we're getting one of them right and the other one wrong? So in order to do that, we need to use Boolean variables. And we haven't really done Boolean variables too much in any of our clubs, but Booleans are basically a fancy way of saying true or false, yes or no, 1 or 0. It is a variable that only allows 2 values, and Supernova says they're complicated and you don't understand them. Okay, so we're going to go through a quick example of what a Boolean variable is. You could think of them a lot like switches. So switches, when you turn on the light and turn off the light, there's only 2 states. It can only be on or off. There's no like halfway on, halfway off sort of thing. So we're going to go, yeah, so here I'm going to create my Boolean variables because I want to show the state here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to variables, and notice that we've been using text variables mostly. Text variables are one type of variables, but we also have 2 other types of variables on elementary. And in programming languages, you have a lot more than 2 types, but for the most part, I think 3 types is good enough. And Booleans are a type that are used across all programming languages. So let's get started. So when we create a Boolean variable, we should make it something that can be answered with like a yes or no answer. So let's make this like the first Boolean variable we're going to call is going to be puzzle 1 completed. And so this makes me, when I look at this variable name, I can then say, oh, is puzzle 1 completed? Yes or no? And we can think of it that way. So on page, so we have to first initialize it, and we're not going to initialize it here because I want to show it here. Actually, we should put it, sorry guys, we need to put it on the first page. So that way, when we enter and we start over on this page, it's always going to be false. Yeah, so you can have a, should you follow Supernova? The correct answer is yes. Yes, you can make something like that. So let's create a Boolean variable here, and we called it what? Puzzle 1 completed. Let's do complete. It's a little bit shorter. Oh, it's completed. That's fine. And since we have 2 puzzles, I'm just going to call the other one puzzle 2 completed. And the reason why I put it here is because we have to initialize it to be a certain value when the game begins. And we're going to initialize it and give it a value of false when the game begins, because when you first start the escape room, you want both of these variables to be false because obviously you haven't started the game yet. So I'm going to set this puzzle 1, puzzle 2. The value is, see, there's only 2 values, so there's no way to input anything. You can only select. It doesn't seem too hard. Well, we'll do a couple more examples afterward. We can do one of my favorites, which is when you create a hidden Easter egg, and that usually uses Booleans. So we have false, false. That means when the game begins, we haven't done anything. Both of them are going to be false. So I'm going to get rid of this page. And where do we set completed to true? Well, we're going to set puzzle 1 completed true when I finish this. Oh, I need to select a variable here. When I get the compare text conditional correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this connection really quick. And I'm going to do, where is it? Boolean. Boolean variable equals value. So the yellow blocks are Boolean variables. So puzzle 1 completed is now true. So I'm actually going to direct the reader back to page 2 because I want people to click kind of everywhere on this page to go to different pages or to have different interactions. So I'm going to go back to like my master page. And to help you guys out, I'm going to, in here, do the mustache notation. So mustaches are the curly brackets, and they basically allow us to see the variables on the layout side. So we have to use the same term, puzzle 1 completed. It needs to be exactly the same. And let's try it out. So I'm going to preview. So puzzle 1, it's false. So that means it is not completed. I'm going to go to puzzle 1, which is our lovely thing. What happened to my text? It disappeared. Oh, because I clicked on the wrong one. Let's go back. Okay, so we have to maybe take a look at the page numbers because I deleted a page. And the answer was spooky. And now puzzle 1 is true because I completed it correctly. So let me go back and we are going to update the page numbers really quick. So this one goes to page 3 and this one goes to page 4. And if they get it wrong, it goes to page 5. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to our page here, and let's say I want to have a final button. So this button here only appears if I have completed puzzle 1 and puzzle 2, both of them. So, well, first let's make it appear only if you complete puzzle 1. So let's say exit the house. And since I don't like this color, I'm going to make it blue. Okay, so how do I do that? So, well, on page start, let's get the on page start block. You'll notice now we have this little yellow thing, this yellow circle, and we don't use this very often. So this yellow circle, since it's yellow, it has something to do with Booleans and Boolean variables in particular. So you'll notice that with the yellow circle, I can connect it to a yellow circle. So let's actually go ahead and create a fade. So on page start, fade, and I want to fade in my button. And I want to do it only when puzzle 1 is completed. So I have puzzle 1 is completed. Okay, so if I preview here, puzzle 1 is null and there's nothing here. And let's go back to page 1. I preview. Okay, I don't see the button. I go to here, I type in my code, spooky, puzzle 1 is true, exit the house, button appears. Awesome. So yes, if puzzle 1 and puzzle 2 are true, then show the button. So let's actually go ahead and do that and make it so you have to have both puzzle 1 and puzzle 2 completed to show the button. So I'm going to go ahead and call it puzzle 2 completed so we can see. And exit the house only works. So the question is, how do I have 2? Well, in logic, you have and or blocks. So and is you will need to have, basically you need both to be true in order for it to be true. Or is if you have only one of them to be true, then it goes through. So I'm going to go ahead and do an and I need another variable here. So if puzzle 2 is completed, there we go. So I don't have puzzle 2 completed anywhere because we haven't done puzzle 2 at all. So let's go ahead and do puzzle 2. So another really simple way to create a puzzle is obviously you can do something like this where you have the colors spelling out the code. You can also have it so the colors spell out a word and that word has to do with something with the image and then you have to do a like counting or association. So let's try something like that. Let's say the answer is going to the coded part here. Let's just copy and paste this really quick. And let's say instead of spooky, it's going to be like candy. But the answer is not going to be candy. The answer is going to be the number of candies that are on the page. So let's go ahead and add some candy on the page. So I have some candy here. Have any other candies? Here's lots of candies. Oh, we have lots of candies here. This one's cute. This one's cute. This one's cute. Let's go 3. We have 3 candies. Make them smaller. Oh, we have other colors too. Perfect. So I think 6 is good. And we can hide them on the page if we wanted to, so you have to like find them to count them, something like that. For now, let's just... Oh, how come this one became so tiny? There we go. So, let's say like, you are greeted by a scary skull who doesn't seem to like people very much. In your bag, you have some candies, and I don't know. I'm making stuff up. In your bag, you have some candies, and you give him one. Okay, let's add text field. So once again, we're going to have an input field where you would have to input something. And in our case, the answer is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to actually be 6. So it's the number code. But instead of having 6, we're going to have we're going to have it say candy instead. Oh, thank you. What's the number code? Thank you. Okay, So CA and let's use this one. D, where's the D? Here's the D. Candy. So to make it even more difficult for some people, you can also put in other colors. So that can be like a red herring and basically be like a false clue. So it just makes it more complicated. But we're not going to do that too much because we're going to focus a little bit more on the coding side of things rather than the puzzle creation side of things. So let's go ahead and find a background because it's kind of sad. You don't think you could do the puzzle as it is? Yeah, I actually learned about this puzzle from my friend who is an escape room specialist. I hope that we're going to be able to create some content together to talk about different ways that you can create puzzles. He had a lot of really fun puzzles that he shared. So this one's kind of scary. Do we have something that's a bit lighter? Otherwise I have to do something with the text so I can see it. Let's make it white. There we go. We'll make it a little bit smaller so it doesn't take up so much space. Okay, so we have here maybe this one. And we'll just put these candies everywhere on the page. So we have how many candies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the answer is going to be 6. So let's go ahead and do it again. We basically need to do the exact same thing that we did on page 3. And I was kind of stupid because the easiest way would be to actually copy and paste page 3, and then that way the code will always be there. Well, it's not too late. I can go ahead and copy and duplicate this page and go ahead and okay, I can't delete it. I'm so sad. Not sure why it's locking when I duplicate the page. Okay, so we'll go ahead and leave it with that. So we have stuff here, and I'm going to go ahead and copy everything on this page and see if I can bring it over to the other page. There we go. I wanted to duplicate this page so I can have the code, and I'm going to get rid of this page actually. So that way most of the code is here already, so I don't have to drag everything over. So I want to call it player answer 2, and it's called player answer 2 everywhere now, so that's great. And I just want to make sure that the variable now is called puzzle 2 completed. And if it's wrong, I go to page 5, and if it's right, I go to page 2. And I'm going to put a hint because we can. Okay. Perfect. So do we have something that's more colorful? Oh, what happened to the background? There we go. Okay, so we have now our two puzzles. Puzzle 3 and Puzzle 4, the code is exactly the same. The only difference is the variable. So this one is player answer 1, and I'm comparing it to Spooky. And if it's exactly the same as Spooky, so if player answer 1 is exactly the same as Spooky, it's true. Puzzle completed 1 becomes true. Okay. And if I go to page 4, it's exactly the same thing, except instead of Spooky, I want the answer to be 6. And puzzle 2 completed is true. So to test everything out, let's go back here. And I'm going to preview. What about the background on the other puzzle? Yeah, we should add a background. It's kind of sad. Let's see. Ah, that one looks kind of cute. So we're just gonna make it a little bit prettier and change the opacity of this and make it like white so we can see better. Perfect. So let's try it out. I'm gonna preview. And basically puzzle 1 is false, puzzle 2 is false. Later on we can just remove this, but for now it's helpful for us for debugging purposes, so we know exactly what the variable value is. So I'm going to go and click on him, enter the password. This password was Spooky. Okay, puzzle 1 is true, puzzle 2 is false. I don't see the button, and that's completely normal because I need to answer puzzle 2. The answer to this is 6, and puzzle 1 is true, puzzle 2 is true, and now my button appears. And now I can click on the button and I guess go to page 6, which would be yay, you completed the 2 puzzles. So then exit the house is perfectly there, and then I can say when I click on it, I go to my win page. So go to page, six. Okay, so the only real difference is we added stuff before the on page start, and you can do this also for the OnClick, because you notice that there is a condition here as well for the OnClick, and that's the same for all of the blocks. So for OnClick, it's really useful when you're doing things like having voiceovers and you don't want, or having text and you want to make sure that the first text and voiceover finishes before you can click on it, for example. So let's actually do an example of that really quick. So yeah, I also need to lock the pages on these. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because right now you can navigate and I don't want that to happen. I want to lock the navigation. So I'm going to just lock the navigation on all these pages really quick. And I'm going to just copy this block, paste it, and go ahead and grab these two blocks and connect them. So all this is saying is you shall not pass and you have to do what I tell you to do, essentially. My opinion is that people who are UX or UI designers, they're very, they're basically, you know, very commanding. They tell you what to do all the time. It's like, you can only go to this page, only when I want you to go to this page. So There we go. So I locked the navigation on all the pages. This is really useful for any story that is non-linear. So stories that don't go from page 1, page 2, page 3, etc. So we have a little bit of time. Let's go through how we can do kind of like an Easter egg surprise. Or do you want to do an Easter egg surprise, or do you want to do you can only click on it if you've clicked on other things? So yes, if you unpublish it, then you can fix it, publish it. The likes and views and comments are all there. Your story doesn't get affected in any way. It's just people won't be able to see it when it's published, when it's unpublished, obviously. So Easter egg. So what kind of Easter egg do we want to do? Let's add an Easter egg to this escape room. Maybe on like puzzle 2 or something, puzzle 1. Puzzle 1's kind of empty. There's not very much stuff on this page. So the common example I like to do is the key and the treasure chest. So the idea behind the key and the treasure chest example is you pick up a key on page 3, and then you can open up a treasure chest on page 5, for example. But the treasure chest only can open if you've picked up the key, obviously, because you can't open up a treasure chest if you don't have the key. But you can do other things as well. So you can just have hidden messages throughout the story. So if you click on a certain something, then something else will appear at a different place. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's say we have, I don't know, what do we have for Halloween? Any ideas of what you want to do? Maybe we could like pick up a potion and something happens if we pick up the potion. Do the treasure, if you type this secret code, I will follow you. What does that even mean? That is the best treasure. Okay, so let's just have this here. And let's say if you click on it, so we need to create obviously a variable because we want to store this value to be used later in the program. So I'm going to use a Boolean variable and I'm going to call it, I don't know, potion picked up. So when this page starts, potion picked up is false. So let's do that. So when the page starts, potion picked up is false. Oh, so if you say, what is that? Code something is the best, which would be the code when you open up the treasure chest, and then you add that to the comments, then you'll follow them. Is that what it is? Okay, so are we gonna do the treasure chest example then? I guess. Let's find a key. So I need a key. Every time I look up key, I always remember that I didn't call it key for some reason. Let's see if treasure chest comes up. What was it? What was the artist name? His artist name was called Baby Sophia, I believe. There we go. So here's the treasure chest I like to use. I don't know why it's not called treasure chest, but we're gonna go with it. So here's my key. And we're gonna just put this here. Doesn't matter where it is. So I guess I have to change it. So key picked up is my variable name. So on page start, key picked up is false, and it turns true when? So when I click on the key, then I want to turn it to true. And it's important that we let the player know that clicking on the key was kind of important, right? You don't want it to be like an invisible, oh, you picked up the key, and not let them know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something simple. I'm just going to fade out the key once you pick it up. So fade out the key, and let's actually do it after to make sure that my code runs properly. Okay, so key picked up is now true, and let's say if you complete the puzzle, then I have my treasure chest here, and it's locked. Here we go. And basically what I want to say on page start, my treasure chest appears only if I picked up the key. Or should I make it appear always? The two puzzles appear always, and then you can only open it up if you have the key. Okay, let's do that. So on click, then I can on click, I want to change the image. I'm not sure if change image will work for me. Let's see. Sometimes it doesn't like me too much. Yeah, it doesn't seem to like me right now. What we're going to do instead is we're going to fade out and fade in the new image. So let's use this one. So I need two fades. The first one is to fade out the locked one, and then fade in. Oh, I'm connecting the wrong things. Fade out this one and fade in this one. And then okay, so let's test it without the conditional. Okay, there we go, it changes. And now I want this to only happen in under the condition that key picked up is true. Perfect. Make the text appear that says, if you type in the comments. Okay, we're gonna have a text appear, I guess. But we're gonna have something that says, remix this story to see how it's coded. And we're going to have this appear only if you get everything right. I'm going to fade it in to the top. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the page where I have my key. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This page. Preview. So I picked up the key. Okay, it disappears. Oh, I have to start over from the very beginning because I have it's on the last page. So let's go through it. Puzzle 1 is false. Let's answer it. It's spooky. Puzzle 2 is this one. The answer is 6. I press enter. I can exit the house. And I can't click on it because I did not pick up the key. It's completely locked. There's no hand over it. It's very sad. So let's try again and pick up the key and go through it. So puzzle 1, spooky. Oh no, I forgot to pick up the key. Okay, I picked up the key. Spooky. 6. And voila! There you go. So you had to pick up the key in order to have the final little Easter egg. And of course you could put whatever message you want. You could even put another extra puzzle, up to you. So that's it from me for this stream.